on, buddy? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, always.
I was looking at these notes, and you have a son. Correct me if I'm wrong. You have a son who's 20?
17.
17 years old.
17.
How did that happen, for God's sakes?
It just happens too fast.
Whoa.
They just grow.
And what is 17 like?
Well, what do you mean? When I was 17?
All right, let's start when you were 17.
Okay.
What were you like when you were 17?
You know, what was I like? I was like, just wanted to get on with my life.
Mm-hmm. Were you bad kid? Good kid?
No, good kid. Wanted to go to New York. I was saving my money for Europe or going to New York to become an actor.
Oh, well, you apparently made the right choice. You apparently made the right choice. But now, you should, don't kid yourself, you should still take that trip to Europe.
Yeah.
But when you were so, was it going to be one of those deals where you got your Euro rail pass and you had your backpack and you were going to be in youth hostels and stuff?
Yeah, I was going to do youth. I was going to take a bicycle, youth hostels, stuff like that.
Meet babes?
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, your son, 17, any chance that he's going to take that trip?
No, no.
And why not?
Well, he's too busy.
He's too busy.
Yeah.
What does he like to do?
No, he's, look, he's a musician and DJ, producer, he's an actor. Yeah. He actually, this is total coincidence, he did a remix of the song that you're going to hear tonight on the show.
That's what I heard, that he has worked with MNDM or the DMV, DMV.
Yeah. Now,
MNDR.
yeah.
What do you guys do together, you and your 17-year-old son?
You know, we play basketball, ride motorcycles, drive cars,
Well, that's fantastic.
snowboard.
That's fantastic. You get to do all those
climb,
things. Yeah. And he likes doing that. See, my son's 9, and we do stuff together, but I have the feeling he doesn't enjoy it. Yeah. And it could be, just could be me.
What do you do together?
Well, like I like to throw the ball around, because when I was a kid, I didn't have anybody to throw the ball around. So I say, Harry, let's go outside. You can watch your soap operas later. Let's go outside. And we'll throw the ball around. Have you had the talk with your son about girls? Of course, he's 17, for God's sakes.
This is, he's like, please don't talk about me.
Oh, he doesn't like you talking about him at all?
He's like, please, like a little bit, but certain things, then his friends go, well, what was that talk like?
Okay.
You know,
okay.
What were the details like?
Okay.
I mean, what's Harry like? Do his friends like say, hey, your dad was talking about you?
It's interesting, because it's getting to the age now where his friends, his buddies, are under the impression that Harry's father, me, is Ed Sullivan. Yeah, you see?
Yeah, all the kids are like, look, Dad, we love you, but like, don't say that stuff.
Right, okay.
You know, certain things, like maybe that conversation.
Okay, here's what we'll do. Let's just say you have a buddy.
Yeah, let's do that.
And your buddy has a teenage son.
Yeah, absolutely.
And long time now been interested in girls. How do you break the? What do you tell your friend to tell your friend's son?
What would you say hypothetically?
Well, I think I've.
Did you have that conversation already?
See, I think I'm late. I think I already should have had it. But the people at school say no, fourth grade. But I think I'm behind the curve. I think it should have been this year for sure, or last year even.
Is he talking to you about it, or is he?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We had a conversation about dirty words.
Yeah.
And I said, Harry, do you know dirty words? And he says, well, I know the S word. And he says, I know the B word, and I know the F word. And so you hang on, and you think, okay, what is the S word? And he said, stupid.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
I said, and what about the B word? And he said, bad. And I said, and the F word? And he said, we'll be right back with Tom Cruise. Ladies and gentlemen,
we might or might not be.
Yeah, buddy.
Thank you, buddy.
I want to talk about Colorado because I know you spend time in Colorado, and I know, and this is, you live, your house in Colorado is like 10,000 feet. Am I right about that?
Yes.
That's crazy. But now, can you just go out your front door and ski or snowboard?
No,
right?
it's not a ski and ski out.
Not a ski. What kind of things do you do up there?
Well, we ski.
Yeah. Now, are you one of those guys that's like waist deep in powder and that kind of crap?
Well, yeah, I like powder. I don't want to be waist deep in it.
Yeah.
I want to be on top of it on the board.
But how do you? Oh, so you snowboard?
Snowboard. I used to ski and then I started snowboarding.
And you prefer snowboarding?
Yeah, because I skied for so long and now I love snowboarding.
But now, a guy my age, I shouldn't probably snowboard, right?
I mean, what I would do is put a lot of pads on.
I got a lot of
just anyway. Like
I got a lot of pads on now.
I wouldn't say no because it's once you get it, you get it. But I wear.
Well, I'm afraid of snowboarders. I had a bad experience a couple of weeks ago with a guy calling me old man and,
Really?
and grandpa and geezer.
Really?
He said, "I'm going to knock your blank teeth out, you old blank geezer."
Really? Was that just in the ski lift, or were you?
It was in the gift shop.
It was in the gift shop.
Yeah. And that was in the
And
gift
that guy was a snowboarder. You could tell.
But do you always, you're always, like with your son, you're always skiing or riding dirt bikes or climbing? You're always doing something, right?
Yeah, we're always doing something.
Do you ever just not do anything? Do you ever get really drunk?
You know, every now and then, not recently. I've been too busy.
Yeah, too busy to get drunk.
Yeah.
I used to drink quite a lot.
And he's only 17.
He can't be drinking at 17. You're letting your kid
No.
drink at 17? What is wrong
What about
with you?
Harry? Is he?
No, we don't have that kind of fun at my house anymore. This Jack Reacher movie, I like this. I had not read the books, so I go into the film. I don't know anything about the character. I want to be that guy. Now, in a fight, you could handle yourself, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Jack Reacher will get into a fight with multiple guys, punks, toughs, thugs.
Yes.
And not only is he not frightened, not only is he willing to get in the fight, he will describe to them the process of the fight and how it will go, and then he executes it as described. I want to be that guy.
Yeah. That's why I love the character. You can be that guy.
Have you read all of the books?
Yeah, I've read all of them.
And describe for us, non-readers, Jack Reacher. Who is that guy?
You know, Reacher is just a great character. He's this analog character in a digital age. He's a guy who comes into town, doesn't want to get involved, and yet ends up getting sucked into a story and then having to dish out some...
Right. Doesn't care about justice, cares about what's right.
Yes.
Doesn't care about laws, cares about what's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And whenever he goes to a town, he goes to the Salvation Army, gets a new outfit.
Yes.
He rides on the bus.
Yes.
Has no credit cards.
No credit card.
No driver's license.
No digital phone. No driver's license.
Yeah, can't be traced. He's like the wind. He'll blow into town, blow right back out of town. Yeah. But you always know he's there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they eventually find out.
Yeah. Are there guys like that?
That's a good question. I really don't know.
I would like there to be a guy
Yeah.
like that. And I would like him.
I know it is a wish fulfillment.
Yeah.
That guy who will handle the bad guys.
Well, that's right. Oh, thank God, Jack Reacher is here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go down to the bus depot. Pick up.
Yes.
Guess who's coming to our house for the holiday? Jack Reacher. Oh, I'll
Yes.
swing by Greyhound and pick him up.
Yes.
How long did it take you to make this film?
About 3 months.
3 months, and was it shot entirely in Pittsburgh?
Entirely in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh looks fantastic.
Beautiful city.
Yeah, and I notice more and more films are using Pittsburgh as a setting, so it must be a great place to
It has
work.
more bridges than Venice.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And they still brew that Iron City beer there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
Yeah, that's good beer.
And your Steelers? How are your Steelers doing? Not good, huh?
Not a good Sunday.
Yeah.
Not a good Sunday.
How many films have you made?
You know what? I don't know. I think over
40? 50?
I don't think 40.
40.
I think maybe
30?
Maybe over 30.
30. Best film in the bunch? Or are they like kids? You love them all?
Love them all.
Have you made one where you're sitting in the theater? You made any of those?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, you're in one now.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with Tom Cruise, everybody.
becomes the Chevelle.
Same
Yeah.
body style,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like 1974,
Awesome.
something like
Yeah,
that.
we totaled
Fantastic.
8
yeah.
of them.
8 of them. We're talking about the old muscle cars that Jack
those
Reacher
muscle
steals, and it starts out in a Camaro, I think,
Well,
right?
he was given it. He was
Yeah, he was given
was given it.
That's right. He got permission from the guy whose jaw he had just broken. And then he switches to a Chevelle. And it sounds. Did it actually sound in person the way it sounds
That's
in the movie?
exactly. The director, Chris McQuarrie, made it. That's what it sounds like.
Beautiful car.
Beautiful engine.
And do you have one of those? Do you have cars like that?
I was given that car as a gift.
But you say they had 8 identical cars.
9.
Had 9 identical cars.
There's only one left.
The only one left. And you banged it up in the film?
Yeah. There was, you know what, there was different, we do this car chase, and it's very much an analog car chase. There's not a lot of edits. It's high speed. I did all the driving. We made sure that where the camera is, you know, that's where we were. And did that make sense? I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's usually, I'm usually where the camera, anyway. You'll see it, and it's, unfortunately, we lost 8 of the cars. We totaled them.
Yeah.
But
It's interesting that there was one that was not totaled.
I know.
That was later given to you.
it's funny how that happened.
Yeah.
It's funny how that happened.
Yeah, that was good. And like a Hearst shifter or something in there.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
and
awesome.
it's just that low,
That
growling
450,
rumble.
you're just going, oh, it's
Delightful.
Just, yeah,
Just
really
delightful.
great sound.
Well, swing by in
Feels
the car.
like America.
Yeah.
You know, when you're listening to that sound,
right.
it just reminds me.
Detroit Iron,
Yeah,
my friend.
that's it.
Let's take a look here at the. Now, will there be? Is this going to be like a franchise? Will there be more, Jack?
You know, I hope so. There's 17 books. So.
Man, that's a lot of cars.
Yeah, that's it.
17
see.
books.
We'll see. If the audience enjoys it, it's a great character to play.
Well, I enjoyed it. It's just nice to think there might be that guy. Let's see what we're going to see here. Tom, tell us.
Thank you. I think this is a car chase.
Well, this is what
Yeah,
we're
I
talking
think
about.
there's a piece of the car chase.
All right, so you
and
get
he's being
a
chased.
listen to the Chevelle. Here we go. Super Sport, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I wish I had a nickel for every time I've gotten out of my car and just let it roll. It's somebody else's problem. The film, Jack Reacher, is in theaters Friday. It's going to be an enormous holiday success. Well, congratulations, Tom.
Thank
Great
you
to
so
see
much. I wish you and
Always
your
a pleasure.
family a
Merry
happy
Christmas to you.
holidays.
Thank you, sir. We'll be right back with MNDR, ladies and gentlemen.